You're recording.
So we're live. Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Doug Spindler. I teach at Diablo Valley College, which is in Pleasant Hill. I know you're a Loney, right? Yeah. Are you a Loney? We got to talk afterwards. Oh, hire me, please. I love Santa Cruz. No, that's a great college, huh? I'm sorry, where are you from?
Pennsylvania. We have Harvard Community College.
I don't have a clue, but I'm not interested in Pennsylvania. Where are you from?
Hey, where are you, Stockton?
Oh, you're Stockton? Oh, you're both Stockton. Okay.
You said a lot of weather.
I know. It's warmer. I have that chance.
I called them today. There's this institute now.
It's cold for San Francisco. Yeah, it's always windy. Anyway, this is Microsoft mid-year, so it was June, July of last year, came out with a brand new program that's targeted, they say, for high school students. And I objected and said, no, this is really for entry-level students. And what they have, and I'll go through this in a lot of detail, but it's a brand new program where they've got exams, they've got course material, PowerPoint slide decks, and lab material. It's all pre-packaged, ready to go. You can either use it with your existing material and integrate it. They've got roughly about 20, each class is about 20 hours worth of course material. So I signed up with this to be part of the beta, and I happened to use this for my students last semester. And I think it, for what it is and the target market that they're after, which I'm going to call as entry-level people, is perfect. So what I'd like to do is go through real quickly the program, show you kind of some of the books and the material, some of the PowerPoints. I don't really have an agenda, so you can kind of steer me. And then finally, if you'd like to, you can take any one of the exams. I have vouchers for you. And if you contact Certiport, which is a company that Microsoft is partnering with to do the exams, it is so unlike Pearson VUE or Prometric. We just went around here. Where's my buddy? He left. We did this entire room to set up with the lockdown tool, and it takes about 5 minutes per computer. You need Windows XP, and I just found out this week they're now supporting Windows 7. So all you do is there's a special icon. If you wiggle your mouse, it's called the lockdown tool. You have students, or maybe on the desktop. Restart. Restart? I hope not, but restart. But it's a special icon. It's a browser lockdown, so when students take the exam, they can't get out and Google answers. Okay, so let's go through the slide deck. I'd like to see it. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Anybody know what STEM-D is? Yeah, I don't know. It's some career. Okay.
That means science, technology, engineering.
Okay. Okay.
D, I don't know what D means.
For disasters.
Okay, so as I said, where they're targeting, where they originally went after this, and why Microsoft is investing in this, kind of the lower end marketplaces, they realize in the next 5 to 10 years, there are going to be a lot of people retiring. And there aren't that many high school students who are taking a technology career path. I understand why, but that's another topic. So their goal is to get students, high school level or entry level, engaged with Microsoft, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Microsoft, but with technology. So Microsoft originally had what they called their, and there's a better slide for this, they're certified professionals, and this used to be MCSE. Remember that? Okay. Microsoft now changed the title just to confuse everybody. So it's MCITP and MCD, or MCPD. And then above that, they added, relatively recently, the Masters, and above that is the Architect. This, I believe, is a $15,000 exam. This is a $25,000 exam.
Oh, no.
Just like Cisco CCIE.
Yeah, it's equivalent of the CCIE. You have to spend, if I'm not mistaken, for this 3 weeks in Redmond, and they're 5-day classes, 40 hours back to back, and it's pretty grueling. The architect, I think there are only 125 people worldwide that have achieved that. And again, it's like next layer.
Is Mark Lancy one of them?
No. Mark hasn't taken any of these exams, to my knowledge. Okay, so then below that, what Microsoft realized, and something I think if we've been teaching towards Microsoft, the exams for professionals, if you read what Microsoft calls the objective domain, they're for people who've been working in the industry, I believe a minimum of 2 years, for a company that's with a minimum of 5 offices and 500 users, something like that. So for our students to be at this level and prepared to take those exams, that's not realistic, and especially somebody coming out of high school that gets a 2-year degree, that's not realistic either. So Microsoft came down and said, we need to have an entry-level exam. And so that's what they did. And I gave, so I'm on the IT Pro side. There's a database, 1 or 2 database, and we'll go through what all the exams are. But I gave my students the option of taking 3 of the exams. I teach server administration, kind of what I would consider second-year courses, and I was really shocked at what they didn't know. Some of the students were able to go through and look through these, and Microsoft gave me, I think it was 500 vouchers, so I handed them out and I said, take the exam as many times as you want, because my goal was to assess where the students were. I didn't care if they passed or failed, but I wanted to see what our college was doing, if we were passing or failing. And my conclusion is, sorry if anybody's a DVC, but we're failing, at least my college. I'm not really comfortable, and that's why I'm part of this MPIC, right? Let me read this. Right now, that's why I'm here, is because I want to change this, and coming here and talking to other instructors last year really kind of motivated me. And I think this is a good partnership, and I encourage you to get involved with this. Microsoft has, on the other side, Certiport is known for doing the Office exams. And I have not taken these exams, but I've been told by people who have. They are incredibly hard. And I think for the Office specialists, there's something like 12 questions, and you get a virtualized Office environment. They're not that easy. So I'm encouraging our college to start adopting and offering these Office exams as well as the MTA. So I'm going to skip some of these. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. That doesn't look right. Oh, I thought this was right. So this is the TS. This is where you pass one exam. Yeah. So this is the one that's called MTA, Microsoft Technology Associate. And the other reason that I gave these to my students is because it makes them feel good, right? They now take my class and they can get a grade which might be passing, but now they can walk away with an industry recognized certification. And I was really surprised at how many people really wanted to go after that certification. And that wasn't my goal. So this is kind of the entire path that Microsoft has. Below here are the MTA exams. So they have networking fundamentals, security fundamentals, Windows Server administration. They've got software development fundamentals. This is on developer side. Windows development fundamentals, web development fundamentals, and then under database they have a database administration fundamentals. They have classes, they have books, they have labs that are all set ready to go with this. There's a campus license. You have to be registered. It's one campus license is required for each physical location. So at DVC we have 2 sites. We'd have to buy 2 licenses. The licenses are $3,000, which gives you 1,000 MTA exams. You can then charge your students to take those exams, or I gave them away for free because we were part of the beta program. The exams, I believe, are like the other ones, $125, So if you were to charge your students, and it gets into a logistical nightmare is what I found out in our college, because of budgets and money coming in and all that kind of stuff, that you could easily recoup this if you do the math on this. If you're a ITA, which used to be, what, a Microsoft Academy? Yeah, I don't know what ITA is, but it's every couple of years Microsoft changes the name, right? So if you're an existing ITA, it's $25.50. Is that, I'm just kind of curious, I'm not involved in the budgeting, but is that affordable? Pierre, I mean...
well, you know, what happens is that to be an IT, I don't know what your question is, but $25.50 makes sense, because 1,000 licenses, that's $250 per license.
Yeah.
Then you can charge $10 for your students. That's what we're going to do in our college, because I learned from you about this, and I passed it out to my department. I want to give you credit for that.
Thank you.
And so I went to my department and I said, you know, Doug is talking about MTA. What is this? And we start looking at it, and we said we want to be part of that. And we are. But now you're talking about the IT Academy. IT Academy, it costs about the same amount.
No, right. So if you are an IT Academy, they give you $450 off.
Oh, I see. That's right.
Yeah.
Because it costs some money to be an IT Academy.
Yeah.
$200.
Almost 2,000.
So it's 2,000. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
In your classroom.
In your classroom.
Yeah.
You don't need anything that's like metric review.
No, exactly.
No, it's Certiport.
Yeah.
So if you would, Pierre. Yeah, as well as the office exam. So Pierre, if you do, send me an email so I can send it to Microsoft so I can get some kudos for that.
Are we definitely?
Yeah. So I asked her to include some of the objective domains, but you know, honestly, you know what objective domains are? Okay, this is a Microsoft term. This is syllabus. So what's kind of going on? So these are developers. I don't care. That's not where I do. But here, let's take, what do we say? Understanding network fundamentals. So internet, extranet, LAN, wireless, topologies, access methods, switches, routers, media types, protocols, OSI model, IPv4, IPv6, name resolution, networking services, TCP/IP. It's a package deal, right? It's all set, ready to go. Server administration fundamentals, understanding server install, roles, Active Directory, storage, server performance, management, understanding maintenance, security, kind of the same thing, different security layers. This is not meant to be in depth, but it's meant to at least lay down a foundation. They've got review kits, and you can flip through these, or if I've got enough, I think I'll give you all, you can take one of these. The book, so there are also books that are available. I think it's from Wiley. I might be wrong on that. 21 hours of review material that are all in there. And what I'd like to do is kind of jump off and show you some of the PowerPoints. Anything in here? No. So Certiport, is everybody familiar with that? I was not until this MTA. Yeah, okay.
And the guys are very good on the phone, they're really responsive.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you call Prometric or Pearson VUE, you're on phone for 2 hours.
They really
do
business,
Yeah. So these are testimonials. Oh, look, I'm down there too. They put me down here, I don't know. Oh, I teach, what did I write? Or what did they write for me now? Yeah, so I think that's funny. So there are a lot of people. It's all positive stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at actually some of the course material, some of the slide decks. And I'm going after networking. So all the numbers here match to what Microsoft calls an objective domain. If you go to Microsoft Learning, when you look at what the objectives are for an exam, they'll say understand DNS resolution. And they'll put a number by that might be 1.3.A. And so if you go to 1.3.a, this is the PowerPoint slide deck that goes along with the objective domain, or the objective. So there's a title slide. Each one of these is about 20 slides, so each module. And we kind of go through this. I'm going to bring this up. So this happens to be topology access methods. So we talk about so there also there are labs that go along with this that are mixed in with the slide deck. But this is, I think, it's professionally done, right? It's kind of nice. So we talk about star, we talk about mesh, ring, bus, and advantages, pros and cons, hybrids, and we have a lesson review at the end. If I'm going too fast, sorry, you can yell out. Minimize that. So I'm just picking something at random. Here's OSI model. And I make sure that my students are exposed to this. And I'm adjunct faculty, so I only teach part-time. I kind of live in this world when it comes to troubleshooting. So we go through, it's a standards, we go through the OSI model. Some of these slides I kind of bypass with my students, and others I spend some more time on. But, I wish I had the time to create these. And so where Microsoft kind of feels that this fits in is if you're teaching A+, you can pull modules out of this. But as I said, I'm adjunct faculty. I want class in a box. And I want to be able to take all this, go into the classroom, look like I'm a professional. I know the material, and maybe an hour before I flip through the slide deck, so I look like a pro to the students, and then we go through and we do this. And the exam at the end, I don't have to sit down and start writing questions, and they go, oops, this one's wrong. And in the Windows world, you almost have to update your questions every 2 years as Microsoft changes their product. Or sometimes when they do a security or a bug fix. And all of a sudden a question that was good, all of a sudden is not. Now I don't have to worry about any of that. So there are class activities in here. I don't know if you want to see some more. But again, my goal here is just to kind of give you a sampling. Here's a part on IPv6. This is one thing I encourage all of you to know. I went to a IPv6 conference, and it's just unbelievable. There are only 8, and I think there are less than that Class A addresses left worldwide. And I think Comcast just got a /9. So, and Sam was telling me there are even less. He and I have both been following IPv6 for a couple of years. So they talk about the dual stack, the IPv4 and IPv6. As I said, it's Microsoft-centric, but it's not bad for what it is. Question?
So, so the $3,000 gives you the courseware as well, the PowerPoint slides, everything. The textbooks the students pay for those.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Peter.
I think the $3,000 is the contract with 34 to get the license for 17 these
That's it.
No, and it's my understanding, in the PowerPoint and the coursework. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is,
Yeah. We did not have to pay for that.
I see. Because the way we look at it in our college is that when we look at the objective of MTA is that we already teach a networking class. We already teach a web class. We actually can just teach the class, and at the end of our class, give the students the MTA. We are not going to create MTA classes.
You can.
We just realized that the objective. I think that's what is really so great with this. It is at the MTA level. It's not specific to the vendor, except maybe the server part. But
well, we'd have to go back, but they've got database, they've got programming. Right. The other ones are, I would argue, the networking and the security are vendor neutral, but the server admin is Microsoft.
They're always from Microsoft's point of view.
So what we realized when we are our meeting with our department, we realized that we don't have to pay new classes. We can just offer the MTA voucher to our students if they want to take the exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the slides that they give you they kind of remind me of the old Microsoft program.
Right.
A couple of years ago.
Oh, do they?
They're not quite as good as the slides you get if you're an MTA, that's certified MCT and come with the official curriculum.
Yeah.
Those slides are much better designed.
How?
It says here,
Yeah.
each exam includes a companion MTA certification exam review kit designed to supplement the courseware already in use by educators.
So, Microsoft uses their own lingo, but I think these are the ERKs, or exam review kits that the students buy.
Cool. And that has all three.
No, I think they. I don't know.
Well, it says the exam includes.
Yeah. But see, you're paying for that. Let me just make sure. Is this software? I'm not exactly sure what they sent me, but I'm not taking them home.
This is developer. Anybody have any?
Oh, I see. They sent me 5 of each. Got it. Okay, I got it. So I'm keeping one, sorry.
I'd like to look for it.
Okay, I'm keeping this one.
It's okay.
So the advantage is that I see with this, the book's thin. Students are going to probably look at it versus 2,000 pages where it's a brick.
Well, the single one is part of the IT.
Isn't it in
Yeah,
here?
there's
Yeah.
the three here.
Yeah.
Server administration, network fundamental security.
So Pierre, how are you going to sell the vouchers?
But we haven't figured that out. That's what we have to do when we go back. I think that we will probably use the
Business office?
and then the money will go to our department account to replace the account. Pardon?
What's the rate of account?
We used to sell to the cashier's office.
Yeah,
That's
the
the-
business office, yeah.
Or
They
the-
would give the receipt and all the stuff.
And then, yeah.
They bring a license. I need
Yeah,
This is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he likes it to go.
Well,
They buy them, they buy the business.
yeah, they would. I would argue.
They voucher, and I order them, and then I email the student voucher, and I
I see.
but it doesn't come back to my account.
no. So unlike the MCSE, if you go through that, the $12 exam is based on that. So what I'd like to do is we can either continue discussion, or if you want to take one of the exams, I'm set up and you can take one. Your choice. I mean, I don't care. I think we've kind of talked about this. You can't use the book.
I mean, even the developers look good for like whatever programming class.
Yeah, I mean,
This one is C#.
yeah. I don't know anything about programming, but for what this is, I think it's pretty good. And I'll tell you, in my college, what I've seen over the past 5 years or so is we used to have a group of high school kids that knew nothing. Then you had kind of a 25 to 30-ish who've been flipping burgers who said, I should be making $150,000 a year. Let me take one class at a JC and I'll get hired. And then you've got another group who are kind of the power kids who've been tweaking around with computers, but they're not ready for business, and business wouldn't touch them because they don't have any business ethics. And then you got another group who's kind of the mid-range, kind of older people, either ready for retirement. I fall into that category, I guess, or soon will. But they've been in IT for a number of years, and they just want to keep current, or they're not in it for a grade, they're in it for the information. Or you get somebody who was a plumber last week, and now all of a sudden they injured themselves, and they're in your class to make $150,000 a year because they're going to take a computer class. So you get this kind of wide variation. But what I've seen is kind of the older students aren't that interested anymore, the real power students. And we're getting more people that are kind of at the entry level. And I get students in my server administration class, I say, okay, we're going to create a DHCP scope. We need to put in a subnet mask of blah, 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 blah. And they're like, a subnet mask? What do you do with that? Or what's that for? And I'm getting questions where I'm thinking, what the heck? You know, how come you didn't learn this in one of the other classes? And then somebody told me, because we're in California and they've eliminated all the prereqs, so anybody can get in any class. And it's really kind of frustrating on my side in order to teach this stuff. So my expectation level keeps coming down, coming down, coming down. And what I did for my security class last semester is I spent the first couple weeks just going through all the slide decks to lay down a foundation. Didn't help, but that's kind of where I began. And it really gave me some feedback of where students were. So I don't know, that's kind of all I have. The exams, let me talk a little bit about the exams. Unlike MCSE exams, which were blah, 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 and then blah, 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 and then answer A, blah, 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 right? Answer B, right, was a novel. These things are, let me think. You need to secure, or what's the least secure wireless access point security method? I'm making that up. And it's like A, B, C, or D. It's WEP, WPA1, or WPA, now I can't do this off the top of my head. But WPA, WPA Enterprise, blah, 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 right? And it's real quick. And so you spend maybe 15, 30 seconds a question, unless you don't know it. But it's pretty much black and white. You either know it or you don't know it, and you move on. Yeah, so if you want to go on, there should be, now I need help. Look in your browser, and there should be a Certiport lockdown tool. Forget the ID8 stuff. So let's do all of this. I know, Pierre, where was my assistant?
John, you want me to call you?
Yeah, could you? Because there should be what's called a lockdown icon that was placed on the desktop.
So it's on the desktop?
Yeah.
Or use status protected.
No, it's usually just a shortcut to Certiport. No, it's so.
Oh, that's the Certiport.
And if you restart, you lose everything. So I don't restart.
So
there is enough computers.
Oh, this is not working.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's on.
Oh, I don't have it. What am I looking at?
Oh, because the X is on.
Yeah. So it shouldn't work.
Can you come down in 514?
Okay, so first thing you're going to have to do is register. So if you go to certiport.com, on the top where it says support register, forgot password, register.
You have to register, right? You have to register. We have to register.
Yeah, you have to register.
Okay,
this is like register. And by the way, if you do register, it becomes part of your Microsoft transcript. So if you're MCSE, you can sync that up.
Yeah, would this be a good point to stop the recording?
Yeah, I think we should stop.
Okay.
Unless, does a remote person have a question?
No, the remote person's been very quiet, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it.
Are you going to do the real